And Tom Slocum. Tom is someone that I've known for years. Actually, we finally met in person back in February, I think it was, when we were in Arizona. So it was definitely a good time. Tom, appreciate you joining me today.
Man, I'm excited. When they told me you were hosting, I was like, let's go. Yeah, man, we've known each other for a minute. Watched each other from early community days, your early marketing career, right? Us building our names and our kind of respective spaces. And even to this day, you're my go-to, right? I thoroughly do go to you for field marketing things, marketing funnels, and your new GTM book is just wild. That workbook you did, and it's cool, man. You're doing your own thing now, and yeah, it's cool to be here to do this event, cold email, and yeah, man, it's exciting times.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, like when Morgan originally told me about this event and like just kind of like how it like the whole vision of it, and I was like, wow, like as someone that has done thousands of events, I've never done something like this. And like I am a big believer in like this whole like esports vibe and like
Hmm.
the live thing. So I'm excited about it. I think it's something, as a marketer, I can learn a ton as well because I've always worked really closely with sales. But
Right.
the biggest thing for me, Tom, what are your thoughts on like the competition, like the who you're playing, who you're going up against, like give the people some thoughts.
Man, so first and foremost, right, it's the Battle of the Arizona in my respective battle with William, and he took some shots. He threw out some shots when he was on with Morgan last week. If you missed it, tapping into my water supply here in Queen Creek, doing some things. So it's good. William impresses me, right? He does have a leg up in going to the Missouri Columbia Journalism School, so he knows how to write. I think it's a little bit, my initial reaction was, yeah, but you're a formal writer, right? Journalism, you know the formalities of things. When that's not really a strong suit when it comes to cold emailing, right? We don't want to write like that. It is not the formal. I've been teaching SDRs now to not even break the line, right? Because when you write an email, you always say, "Hey Nick, dear Nick," and then you break that line and start your email. Don't do that. Just put it all in one line. Hey Nick, or just start your sentence off and incorporate their name in it. Hey, did you happen to see this post? Around field marketing, Nick. Thought this would be of interest to you, and you just open the email, right? So I think he's fierce. I think he's going to bring a lot to the table. We're battling out for the title of the East Valley kind of Arizona vibe, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But you know me, man. I've been doing this for 16 years. I coach it, I teach it. I'm in the trenches every single day, running my own campaigns and trying to craft, those messages that resonate. So it's a stiff challenge, but I'm hoping to take the crown and yeah, take the title for that.
Love that. I see Sean just coming through East Valley
Me too.
represent. So it's it's interesting because as a marketer, I get lots of cold emails, and I can tell you
Yeah.
98% of them are pretty terrible. And it's just, as someone that gives you so much information that you can use in your content when you are going to pitch me something, like people don't use it. They just throw me into a
Right.
cadence and it has no value to me. And I can tell you the people that do go out of their way to actually personalize something to me, if I'm not the buyer, I'll intro to them to the right person. But I've signed $30,000 deals in a week for someone that actually like came to me and like just went above and beyond pulling like LinkedIn content out of it. So, you bring up a good point there. Like I didn't even think of like that whole like, hey Nick, and then like drop that down. Like
Right.
that's
Yeah.
a good piece there. You talked about like, doing this for a while and you are a legend when it comes to it. But like again, what makes you stand out from the competition?
Ooh, such a great question. I think something that I have that is a superpower of mine is empathy, putting myself in other people's shoes, being able to connect. The more I've learned in sales, the more I've learned in life is that is a very special talent, right? People aren't very good at putting themselves in other shoes, right? It's me, my life, what I need. You see it in your emails, and 98% of them when you're in your inbox. It's about what I need. Hey, would love to, hope to, want to get on a call. Hey, because I need the meeting or I need the deal. And so my superpower and what changes this is when I write my messaging, I do try to use my 3x3 method, do some research, like you said. If they live on LinkedIn, man, you should be using that. Come on. Like, Nick Bennett literally has content for years. Go, but not everybody's in that space, right? And a lot of people
Right.
don't talk about that, right? Most SDRs will laugh at that kind of stuff and say, look, my prospects don't even live there. So how do you still put yourself in their shoes and write from a place of, I know your world. I know what you're going through. I talk to 20 other field marketers a week, Nick, when maybe you only talk to the one internal with your team or maybe two close friends, but like I'm talking to your space every day. I know what's going on, where their priorities are. Nick, did you even think about Z? No, because you're thinking about Q, right? You're back over here, like Samantha said before. And so I think that's my superpower. What keeps me above everybody else is that I do try to write from a place of, if I got this email, I do a lot of test emails to myself. Another hack that like seems common sense, but people are like, did you even think about that? And I'm like, put yourself in your cadence, right? Run yourself through it or send an email to yourself before you send, walk away for 10 minutes and then come back and read that email as if you sat down, you saw the subject line in the inbox. What would you do? If you're not going to read it or you would be like, oh, that's kind of weird, then don't send it, right? Don't send it. So it's little things like that. And so I think that's where my craft and when I write my messaging, I can win a little bit different because I do look at it from that kind of lens when some don't. They just zoom through it, they write, they do what they do. It's second nature. I try to look at it like, yo, Nick, if you got this, would you actually open it and take a look at it? Or is it just the same shit that's sitting in there, with the other 100 people?
Yep. It's such a good point too, because like I feel like so many times SDRs are like, they just want to like, hit their like activity numbers, whatever it is. All
Mm-hmm.
right, cool. I got to send 500 emails. I'm just going to blast through this. But like not many take the time to go above and beyond and like put themselves in our shoes. And again, it's tough. Like, listen, I'm in Martech. Martech's a little bit easier because
Mm-hmm.
I am, marketers selling to marketers. But like, if this was fintech or healthcare or manufacturing, like, I don't know, those people aren't on LinkedIn. But like, where are they? And again, you have to meet your buyers where they are. Maybe they're over on Reddit. I don't know.
Yep.
Again, but the whole kind of like mindset is the same. And I think that's important. So the
Yep.
question for you, Tom, is, I mean, you talk a big game. I love it. I know you have the stats to back it up. Do you think you're gonna win? And if
Yeah.
so, why?
Come on, man. Come on. Not a question. Uh, stacked against some legends. You've got Ashley Early in here. You've got Sarah Brazier, who's just a GOAT account executive, right? Ashley's ran multi companies. You've got William, who's coming from writing school. There's Tyler Washington, who just brings an energy. It's not a skill that he possesses; it's just who he is, right? And it's just these people. But I'll tell you right now, like I study the science. I study things. I'm deep. I have a true passion for this space and this world of sales development, writing emails, cold calling. Right? People still freak out. I've made 500,000 plus cold calls in my career. Right? They're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, like my whole life has been in this." And I think that's why I'm not too worried. I think I can beat out William. I think I can kind of craft the better email of what some have put together. And I'm going to take the crown. It's just that simple. Sorry, y'all. But I'm only a little slightly terrified of Sarah. Sarah just has that vibe around her that people, when they know they're partnered with Sarah or thrown against Sarah, she's just one of those mind games, right? Like she might not be nothing. She's just like, look, I'm just chilling. But she just brings that vibe where you're like, yo, you're walking into the octagon with, a gladiator here. But I think I got it. I think I'll be all right. I think people will like what I put together. My process, some of the tools that I'm going to try to use, some of the shout outs to some of the companies that you're going to see in my process. But I think it's going to be beautiful. Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. I love that. All right. So, William took a shot at you. Let's take a shot at William. Like, what can we say here? Get him scared, get him, ready to face the legend, Tom Slocum.
I mean, man, like you got to look at it like Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady here, right? Like I get it, Will. You're a stud. You've got it. You've got the skills. You've written 1,700 emails with a 12% reply rate over industry standards. You got some things that are good. But let's be real. I've been in this game. I've been here. I know every scenario you could throw at me. I'm quicker on my feet, and that's just experience. And so I think I got it in the bag. I hope he's just a hair nervous as to what I can craft in about 5 minutes versus that journalism mind kind of like getting him a little stuck in that 5 minute space. And so it's going to be a battle for the ages. I'm excited to represent East Valley.
Love that. All right, last question for you. What gets you excited about this kind of like webinar, or yeah, not even a webinar, because I wouldn't
Right.
classify this as a webinar per se, but like I would say event. Like, what gets you excited over this compared to other things that you've done in the past? Because again, it's unique, it's different, and in today's world, in today's kind of everyone's fighting for that like virtual mind share. How do you actually do that?
The big thing is these events, I do my own 4 hour, 8 hour live phonathon, right? Cold calling in the trenches. We go live for 8 hours on YouTube and LinkedIn, right? And I think these type of events and what Aller's doing here, it's a practicality, Nick. What I have learned over the last 2 years in doing coachings, these events that we get invited to, watching other panels and watching people, they're so fluffy in what we do when you're just talking and having a webinar and you can speak, but nothing's really being said. It just sounds elegant. It looks great. You're talking about a topic. But when you go to some events where the fire squad is there, it's real time, like a field marketing event, dude, would be cool of like an 8 hour day watching a field marketing team put together an event. That's the event. You have some sponsors in there. You're walking through the struggles. You maybe got some bloopers. That would get me more fired up to learn about marketing than you talking about how to put together an event with three others on a panel for the next hour, right? Like, I'd rather watch in that hour like a time lapse of you doing an 8 hour day with some thoughts and talking about it and showing me those. And so I think an event like this fires people up is because you've got those saying they love to email, that we're out there in the trenches every day. Let's see it. Let's do it in real time. What would you do? Because I hear this 3x3, or you learn a tip from Sarah. Well, how do I execute it? And so now you learn the topic, you see it live, and it helps with the education level of, there's percentages, how you capture the attention of people, right? Based on doing, seeing, hearing. So I think it combines it all, and they're able to put in what you've taught or what they've come to into practicality and being like, oh, that's where you would do that. Oh, I see. That's why you did that decision versus let's just talk about the topic. So that's why I like this event. That's why I signed up. I love doing this stuff. Kind of put your money where your mouth is. Dude, even if I don't win, right? We're having a great time. People are learning. You're getting to see processes. And hopefully it just unlocks something for you. Even one little takeaway that is like, man, I didn't even think about that, right? It's not more about the who writes the best email, who's going to win. It's just, here's how we're going to write emails, research some prospects, show you how to do this in real time. And obviously how long of a process it is, that Aller can come in and probably do that in seconds. They're like, hey, we got you.
Yeah.
So it's a really good event. And so that's what I would say about that.
Love that. Amazing. Well, everyone, make sure to go see Tom prospecting live. Again, this is not recorded. This is live at the Cold Email Battle Royale. There's a QR code up on the screen right now. Scan that, register. There's going to be thousands of people, a couple thousand people hopefully registered for this thing. There's already, we're already close to 1,000 people registered for this. I think we'll go way above that. So make sure to save your spot. Morgan Ingram will be there. There'll be so many other people there. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to learn as a marketer how to craft my own better emails as
Yeah.
well, because I'm doing my own thing now. So I'm doing outbounding
Yeah.
in prospecting. So, hey, if I can get better, if I can close
Hey.
more deals, it's a win-win. So again, thank you, Tom. I'm stoked for this, and we'll see y'all soon.